Shall we begin?
Welcome back. Here we are again with another indie game review here on the channel, and today we're going to take a closer look at Harthorn. My goal is to review games that have just released, or I guess we would consider recent, within the past few months. So with that, Harthorn's a little bit older, but hopefully you guys will give this one a shot. It's definitely worth your time. Now, I did not purposely choose two games to get back into reviews that are short. It just so happens to be that's what I got and that's what I played. Sometimes, again, reviews tell you they're short, but you don't realize how short they are. One of my good friends, and it's a fellow streamer, her name is Stay Alive Jen on Twitch. She recommended this game, and I'm very happy that I gave it a shot because it definitely didn't disappoint. As always, guys, a sub, a like, a comment is always appreciated. Let me know what's coming up that I should take a look at. And finally, please click that bell for future notifications. Let's move along to a really impressive short story by a one-man crew in Harthorn. Single developer Vincent Lade puts us in the shoes of a nighttime security guard at Harthorn High School. This is set in 1994 during winter break and school's out. The halls should be completely empty, but of course they aren't. This is an absolutely beautiful game with, I would consider it, rather simple puzzles, but enjoyable, extremely linear gameplay. The story pulls you along properly, and the great thing is, for a one night or one day short romp into the abyss of the indie games, for around $4, I think I got this game on sale for like $2, folks. It is definitely worth just taking a look at this thing. Similarly to Murder House, reviewing a rather short game makes it difficult to show too much gameplay without possibly taking away from a rather interesting story or giving something away. But I want to say this one, for the cost, the story as a whole, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous. The nerves are there throughout the game. There's plenty of good scares. It was worth every very little penny. So with that said, let's jump straight into what makes this game so good. And let's talk about a couple of small improvements that I maybe would have loved to see. We always start with the good elements to our reviews, and Harthorn definitely does not disappoint. The graphics, again, are absolutely on point. They are gorgeous, they are clean, they're modern. The sound effects are extremely impressive. Every little detail is there. There weren't any weird abstract sounds that I didn't like. The controls are simple and smooth. I found no hiccups or glitches throughout the entire game that I can remember off the top of my head. You know, I was streamed it this one night, and everyone in chat seemed like their nerves were just on edge as much as mine. The story is interesting. You know, it's not going to blow you away in some like crazy fashion, but it's interesting enough and compelling enough to keep you there and want to keep playing. Again, it's a short game, which I'm sure helps as well. And of course, someone who likes to murder, right? Shocker, it's a horror game. Someone has come there to kill you. But the story and the progression of the puzzles, I thought, pulled myself, and I think will pull you along properly, again in this linear fashion, but it does it really well, so it seems to pull you along at the right time. The figure, quote unquote, that you're going to run into and try to avoid is scary. I enjoyed this one so much in such a short time that I easily wish that this would have been a 10 or 15 hour game rather than a 2.5 to 3 hour game. So of course there's no real easy transition to move into the negatives, but maybe that's a way, hey, I wish it were a little bit longer. So let's go into what I would have possibly liked to see, but again, this is a one-man shop. Look, this game is short, right? It's short, we got it. But I don't want people's ideas to always be focused on the length of a game. Again, Vincent Lade made a 2.5 to 3 hour game, and it is a $4 game on Steam. So, of course, again, the negative would be I wish there were 6 hours or 9 hours or a little bit more, and he could have found a way to weave in a lot more to it. That would have been amazing. You know, like I keep thinking like maybe he could have, added a few more puzzles that were more in depth, or as you walk around, you're going to find these notes with a little bit of information. Could he have thrown some more kind of Easter eggs, or not even an Easter egg, maybe some information that could have been there that could have expanded upon the current story that he had presented us. He does a good job of putting some notes in there, so that's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad, but what if he would have had a little bit more? And again, I'm nitpicking here, folks. I am nitpicking. My only other possible suggestion is really to make the killer a little bit more frequent. Make it a little harder to get by the killer at times. There are a few points within the game where you're definitely probably going to die. But I found at least the majority of it easy for me to evade him and, skirt him in some way. And even in those two areas that I can think of off the top of my head where it was really intense and engaging, I was able to realize what I had to do really quickly to, again, get past him. So, I mean, that's really all I could think of on the negatives for a very simple game. And maybe it being simple makes it so there aren't as many flaws that I can find. But again, I was extremely impressed. That takes us to the final score portion of my reviews. Hey, I am shocked that I love such a short game, but I did. So what score would I give Harthorn? Easily an 8.5 out of 10. I was tempted to give it a 9, but I think the biggest complaint will be the length of the story and possibly the ease of the game. Again, this was not a difficult game whatsoever. There's so much to like in this game, and again, developed by one person, Vincent Lade, that I would definitely recommend to any of my horror friends that are interested in trying something a little bit different, a little bit unique, and again, something that won't take them too long to complete. At this price, you are getting way more than $4 worth of scares. And there you have it again, everyone. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and hit that bell for future reviews and gameplay, and leave a comment about upcoming indie games worth taking a closer look at. Be safe, wear a mask, and I'll see you all soon.
Shall we begin?